Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, what more does this offense need to do? You know what's funny? Yesterday's topic, I was talking about how Shannon Sharp, and then we're specifically speaking about how the Ravens offense, if you want to beat them, just stop them from running and you can beat them. That's pretty much was the consensus. And if they somehow miraculously figure out how to pass during the game, I'm quoting him, you walk to the middle of the field, you shake Lamar Jackson's hand, and you said, you got me. That was the quote that he had said on First Take yesterday. Now, here's the thing where I'm going to go with this. Somebody had a question on Twitter, and it said, what's an all-time NFL QB performance that's happened this decade? And the one thing that came to mind that equates both of those things was the Baltimore Ravens versus the Colts, Week 5, 2021. When you hear that, hey, the way to beat the Ravens is to stop the run, and they can't come from behind and stuff like that, and they need a lead, like all those narratives were crushed in 2020. But in 2021, there was a game that had happened. I'm going to read you off something. It was the highest completion percentage in a 40-plus pass game in NFL history. Because Lamar Jackson threw the ball 43 times on 86% completion. 442 passing yards. Career and franchise high. 4 passing touchdowns. He's the first QB in NFL history to complete 85% of passes in a 400-yard game. And he came from behind. And he went into overtime. And he won the game with the pass to Hollywood Brown on the in the end zone on the right side. That game should have dismissed, put to rest. Oh, love these narratives that these brothers keep coming out with. You notice I said brothers? Because it really does irk me. It really does irk me that you don't get this same talk when it comes like with Shannon Sharp. And look, I know sometimes you got to go to these places because I don't like to, but it's necessary. Shannon Sharp, as much as he'll critique players, he doesn't go at these players like he does Lamar Jackson. He doesn't. Stephen A. Smith, he is infamous, not famous, infamous for not going at these other players who are, let's just say, of a lighter hue like he does, like he'll go at a Jalen Hurts, a Lamar Jackson, a Dak Prescott. He has all the energy, all the wordage. He opens up the Merriam-Webster dictionary and he looks at it and goes, oh yes, this word can be used to describe their horrid, delusional play. And it kind of bothers me, right? Because at this point, we should be past all this stuff. Forget even as a Raven fan, if you're a connoisseur of football, there's an old saying, right? If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. If you were wrong at the beginning about your assessment of, let's say, Lamar Jackson, okay, assessing quarterbacks is hard. Why do you think Tom Brady got picked in what, 7th round? Where did Aaron Rodgers? How many teams skipped over Aaron Rodgers? How many teams skipped over Russell Wilson? How many teams skipped over Jalen Hurts? Think about it. Some of the best quarterbacks of all time weren't taken in the first round. It's not as easy as everyone makes it out to be. So if your initial assessment was wrong, fine, fair. But to continue to be wrong and it's not even that you're just wrong. The player that we are talking about has achievements in NFL history that separates him from the pack from almost everybody not named Patrick Mahomes. And you know what y'all do? Yeah, does really count? Yeah, no one really cares. It is what it is. That's crazy to me. The revisionist history Well, I always thought he'd be a good player, but I'm just saying he has a lot to learn and a lot to do and a lot to achieve and a lot to be. And he has these weaknesses that he hasn't proven us that he can do it. And it always goes back to the playoffs. But the playoffs never are given context. Like the Bills game, they were playing in a pretty much a windstorm. Both quarterbacks couldn't pass well that game because it was a windstorm. When you pass the ball, you ever watch Mighty Ducks? And you remember, what's it called, Russ? And he used to have the knuckle puck, and when he hit it, the ball go wing, 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 wing. That's what was throwing passes in the Bills in that game. Go look at Josh Allen's stats; they're horrid. And on top of it, Lamar's O-line was playing absolutely horrible, and the center kept hiking the ball over his head, which caused him to get concussed. So he couldn't even mount or make a comeback. It's like there's no context. And look, I know you guys are going to say, well, you like Lamar. That's why you defend him so much. Bro, I've come on this show and said Lamar's played bad. I've come on this show and said, hey, look, he has to be better in these certain areas. I've done all those things. Lamar has done those things about himself. Like, yo, I got to get better at this. Or, man, I got to do this differently. Man, this got to change up. He's done all those things. So that's copyism. You're trying to place on me. My thing is, this is not about Lamar Jackson. This is about the Baltimore Ravens. He is the quarterback. When you would talk about the Patriots, you talked about Tom Brady. When you would talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, you're talking about Patrick Mahomes. When you talk about the Bills, you're talking about Josh Allen. When you talk about the Jaguars, you talk about Trevor Lawrence. When you talk about the Chargers, you talk about Justin Herbert. When you talk about the Cowboys, you talk about Dak. The only few teams that you're not talking about the quarterback, the offensive or other piece has to be so great, so dynamic, so historically separated that it's like, okay, we don't have to look at the quarterback over this way. And even then, the quarterback is still mentioned. And those ones are like Tyreek Hill, on pace for 2,000 yards. Derrick Henry, when he ran for 2,000 yards for the Titans and was on pace to do it again. It's like this their team. This team. And the crazy thing is, it's not even like people are saying that Lamar has all the weapons in the world. He still doesn't even have the weapons that his contemporaries have. He doesn't. And now his tight end, the most reliable target that he's had, or his best target that he's had since he's been in the league, is no longer available. So I want y'all to understand. I want to put something in perspective because they don't speak in context on these shows, right? Because the Ravens don't have it. They have the hardest remaining schedule. They're doing it injured. They're doing it with a horrible offensive line. And I use horrible because 3 out of the 5 pieces are horrible. 3 out of the 5 are horrible. And on a test, that's a 40%. Go to your parents, right? For anybody that's young enough that's watching this or can remember when they were in school and bring home a 40% and say, yo, this is still great because, I mean, that's still 40%. 40% is better than nothing. Go ahead and go tell your parents that. Go see what they want to say. The Ravens are doing this with a hurt Odell Beckham Jr. Drop happy Aguilar. He's always been drop happy, right? Let's put this in context. A hurt Mark Andrews. A rookie Zay Flowers. If you really want to talk, let's talk about it. This team has probably the hardest road, and it's still 9-3. They're still bruh, think about this real quick. The last 5 games, they've averaged, I believe, 28 points a game, if I'm not mistaken. If that's the number, someone please check that. I believe it's 28 points a game. It's like 28 or 29 points a game. The last 5 games, that's what the offense has averaged. And the defense is only giving up 15 a game. This team is built for tough. I'm talking about old school Ford, not the new Ford. Found on road. That's what Ford stands for. I'm talking about them F-150s that got 300,000 miles on it, and they're still dragging mountainous material from dig sites and stuff like that. That's how tough this team is built. That's why I don't understand the narratives. It's not, listen, as much as we make it all about the quarterback, it's not. The defense has to do well. The offensive line has to play well. The receivers got to be able to catch the ball. Look how bad Patrick Mahomes has looked when his receivers are dropping the ball. The last couple of years that Lamar was playing, when he was there, he led the Ravens always led the league in drop passes. And everyone's like, oh, it's Lamar, he has to throw a better ball. Now Patrick Mahomes, on his rating on deep balls, only like 28%, 29%, something like that. Or his rating's like 29. That junk is crazy. When he's been known to, he hits everybody in stride. You got to have the players. You got to have the personnel. This is crazy to me, man. It really is. But look, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the Ravens can go on and win the Super Bowl this year. I think they can make it all the way. And I think they're going to prove a lot of people wrong. But the problem I have with the media is because I don't believe that that's going to be enough for them. I think they're going to move the goalposts. I think they're going to say, hey, they won, but Joe Burrow wasn't healthy. Trevor Lawrence wasn't fully healthy. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers wasn't healthy. And then you're going to look back and be like, but Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes didn't have the receivers like he used to have. And it's going to be all these reasons why the Ravens don't deserve. It's going to be an asterisk next to their Super Bowl, I believe, when they win it. And just like there's an asterisk next to Lamar Jackson's MVP. And the Super Bowl is a team award. It's not a QB award. We've seen bad QBs or subpar QBs win the Super Bowl. It's a team award. But what do you guys think? Is Nitro tripping? Am I going off on one? Or do you also believe, like, look, it's tripping. The Ravens have a chance to win this, and the old narratives are foolish. This new offense with them is evolving right before our eyes, and they're getting better week in and week out, and they're taking things that work. They're putting those in and taking the stuff that don't work out. But let me know what you think down in the comment section, please. Because, listen, man, I'm not even going to address that Coach Brown stuff against Lamar because I'm not giving him any love or a shout or any attention. I'm not doing it because that's what he wants. But like always, that's the episode of the Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. Y'all know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But every episode we talk about is rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. I love the comments. And if you have not done so already, check the Wunderkind Show's Patreon. Yes, there's 3 tiers of content. It's getting better every week. And I know people have been asking about the merchandise that comes along and everything else. All that stuff will be coming in. It's just taking way longer than we expected. But give it a look. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, help out with equipment and stuff like that, because that's how we've bought all the equipment. Bottom of the screen is a QR code. QR code's to a Cash App. Cash App's located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is $, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Nitro, signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yeah.